The Way We Were, where we unearth a thread of continuity in cinema, music, art, culture, society, and politics to discover the connection to each other.
Hi, this is Rima. You're listening to The Way We Were. And today I wanted to discuss with you the long shadow of the mafia or the underworld over the film industry. And if you think about it, our understanding of villainy on screen has also evolved along with, evil, which kind of corresponds in real life. And what has happened today, the recent incidents that shook the country and the film industry have also kind of, in a way, they are mirroring where we are as a society today and how complex the idea of evil is today. It's not simple as it was in the 50s or the 60s. If you look at the cinema of that time in the 50s and 60s, villainy was someone like K.N. Singh brainwashing children to become avara, or Pran driving the beautiful Madhumati to jump off a terrace to save her izzat. Evil was defined by a devious villain who wanted to take over the jaidad of a distant relative, or marry the unwilling heroine by hook or by crook. An evil industrialist would mix wraith in the cement and, leading to a pull falling over some innocent people, causing their death, or a thakur gobbling the khet of a hapless kisan, or another industrialist selling nakli dawaiyan for profit, and so on. And we also had dacoit dramas like Mujhe Jeene Do, and also depiction of bloodthirsty thugs from Banaras in H.S. Raval's multi-starrer film Sangharsh. There was also mention of Kala Bazaar in cinema that time, and whatever that meant. And even then, around 1954, Saadat Hasan Manto wrote a short story about Muhammad Bhai, who was a small-time Tadipar mafioso. The kind that the likes of Haji Mastan, Karim Lala, and Vardarajan Mudliar followed in the footsteps of. And these men then, of course, went on to inspire films like Once Upon a Time in Mumbai and Dayavan. The 70s were also when we first heard of crime syndicates and dons and hafta vasuli gangs in cinema. Salim Javed's Zanjeer and Diwar, were examples of this. And in these films, we saw the social fault lines that could breed crime and criminalize angry young men. Haji Mastan in the 70s was also known to invest in cinema and produced a few films. But by the 80s, the line between the real stories of crime had somehow and somewhat blurred. With the emergence of Daud's D Company and later the Rajans, who inspired a slew of underworld films, including Parinda, Shiva, Satya, Company, Black Friday. And now we have, of course, characters like Ganesh Gaitonde in Secret Games and many, many more. By the 80s, I feel the mobster had become a figure to be feared. And the murder of T-Series founder Gulshan Kumar was the boiling point that summarized the underworld's firm grip on the film industry. There were also whispers about a rival music company's involvement in his murder. And accusations were also made against Nadeem of Nadeem Shravan fame. Eventually, in a 400-page charge sheet, 26 people were accused and 15 finally arrested. And Sanjay Dutt also found himself in the middle of a raging storm in 1993 when it was alleged that Dawood Ibrahim's brother, Anis, had again allegedly directed two of his henchmen to take a van with arms and ammunition to Dutt's Bandra bungalow. What followed next is discussed extensively in erstwhile Mumbai Police Commissioner Rakesh Maria's autobiography, Let Me Say It Now. Then there was director Rajiv Rai, who also had a brush with the underworld when he was threatened by the Mumbai Dons after the success of his films Mohra and Gupt. And he had to leave the country in 1997 for the UK after an attempt was made on his life. The attempt on the life of Rakesh Roshan in 2000, after the success of Kaho Na Pyar Hai, also sent shockwaves in the industry. In fact, Forbes magazine once cited director Mahesh Bhatt, who said that there's hardly anybody in the film industry who hasn't been contacted by the mafia. And once the corporatization of the film industry was done, it was then that it is said that the Underworld funding was shown the exit door. Many of you may remember also the 2001 controversy surrounding the film Chori Chori Chupke Chupke, whose producer Nazim Rizvi and his assistant were sentenced to 6 years in prison for working with the Underworld to extort members of the film industry. Now, this extortion trend, many say, continues in some form or another till date. And extortion is not necessarily just being done by the Underworld. There are many players involved in this game now. Karan Johar, according to Forbes, also received police protection after receiving death threats from the mafia, as did Shah Rukh Khan. The recent incidents involving a self-styled mobster and Salman Khan are just indicative of how easy it is to target the industry. For money at times, and at times for fame or notoriety that is mistaken as fame. One thing, however, is very, very clear. The line between good and evil has been blurred decisively on screen and off it. The currency we are dealing with now is performative cruelty in society and on screen. I don't think we are living in an era when even a gangster like Diwar's Vijay had a moral compass and was shamed by his mother for betraying the values she raised him with. The recent memes praising a gangster for threatening Salman, the garlanding of rapists and murderers, and the fact that a murder accused like Indrani Mukherjee was recently invited to a literature fest where she danced, believe it or not, shows how far we have come from clear-cut definitions of good and evil. A villain could be a hero today and a hero could be a villain. And as Javed Akhtar said memorably, ye kahan aa gaye hum.
The Way We Were, where we revisit the past to understand how the ebb and flow of popular culture shapes the way we are. Only on The Podcaster.